What's up, y'all? It's your girl D here with 8th House Energy, here to do a video. This is for the karmic masculine. This is a video here where it talks about the fact that, you know, people know when they're the karmic, especially if you've been watching tarot readings. You pretty much will know if you're the karmic in someone's life, or if you are the, you know, the divine masculine or the divine feminine. You'll know if you're a karmic masculine versus the divine masculine. Okay, and that is based on what you're experiencing. First of all, a karmic person in your life is somebody who was meant to come into your life to teach you lessons. The relationship is rough because it's a direct reflection of you, and it's to teach you lessons. Once you learn the lessons, the relationship falls apart. Unfortunately, in this 3D realm, people don't follow universal law, so they don't understand that when a relationship is over, it's time for it to go. A lot of people think, oh no, we're supposed to stay in, we're supposed to work it out. But if you've been working it out for the past 5 years and the relationship has been in hell for the past 5 years, then that ought to give you an indication that this is a karmic connection and it's time for you to let it go. With the karmic masculine, you know, if you know that you are a karmic masculine and you realize that you have done some things that are not, you know, something that you want to smile at, and when you look back at it, you realize, look, I was wrong, the shit that I did, it wasn't right. How I treated this woman, it was not good. It was not right. I'm sorry for that. Okay, a lot of you may have lost women and you realize what you've done wrong. And so as a result, you're like, okay, you know, I am truly remorseful for what I did to this person. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this person anymore. What can I do? You know, the first thing you want to do is talk to your ancestors and pray. Pray to your ancestors. Let them know that you're sorry for any negative energy that you've put out. If you can apologize to the divine feminine for what you've done, apologize, but don't force yourself on her. If she don't want to see you or don't want to hear from you, leave her the fuck alone. That's what you can start by doing. All right. A lot of the karmic masculines may be feeling guilt and remorse, and they just want, and they keep reaching out. And what you don't understand is you're triggering the divine feminine. Okay, because she needs to heal. She needs her space from you. And you keep calling her, is not allowing her to heal. It's making her frustrated. It's making her angry. And her ancestors are about to whoop your ass. Just keep it 100. If they aren't already started doing so. So what you need to do is you can write a letter. You can write a letter on the full moon. Okay, and you can just say whatever it is that you want to say to the divine feminine. Write the letter, ask for forgiveness. Late at night on the full moon, you can go out and read it out loud and then burn it. All right, before you burn it, ask your spirit guides to reach out to her spirit guides and get this message to her and apologize. That's what you can do if you can't speak to her anymore. Whether she's no longer on the planet, whether she just doesn't want to fuck with you anymore, doesn't want to hear from you and has a restraining order against you, that's what you can do. Okay, that's something that a lot of people will do when they can't apologize to the people that they want to apologize to, whether they're no longer here or they just can't. So you can start by doing that. You can start by setting up an ancestor altar, praying to your ancestors, asking for forgiveness. You can start looking at your natal chart. If you're not into going to psychiatrists or psychologists, you can start looking at your natal chart. Start understanding your alignments. There is a wonderful astrologer who charges $350. Okay, and he should be charging more than that. I would say he should be charging a couple $1,000s for what he does. But his name is Fernando Prudhomme. If you go to my channel and you go into the channels that I'm subscribed to, you will see that he's one of the people. His last name is spelled Prudhomme, I believe it is. Fernando is his first name. He is an amazing astrologer. He's also a high priest. Okay, so if there's any dark magic that has been done on you, any shadow work that, you know, that has been done on you, you can talk to him about that. But you can also talk to him about your chart. His program is like over a year. He'll have consultation with you. And he really digs into the psychological aspects of your chart and some of the things you've experienced and why you're experiencing it to help you to heal. Also, what I'm going to do is at the end of this video, I'm going to put up a video that I did that helps people to start looking at what happened to them in their childhood, which, you know, as a result is why they act the way that they act today and why they may not be in successful relationships today. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put out these cards here. This is called the Dark Mirror. This is about doing shadow work, okay? All of us need to do shadow work. There's nobody who doesn't need to do it. but these cards are going to talk specifically to the karmic masculine and his behavior and why he has been behaving the way he has to the divine feminine or to any women. Whether he hates women or whether this is just one of those situations where this relationship was just one that was very dark and he may not understand why. Okay, let's just see. And to the divine feminines that are watching and the divine masculines that are watching, there could be a divine feminine and a divine masculine who are together. But divine masculine, what happens is your divine feminine may have a child by this karmic masculine. And so you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's, especially if she has to continue to deal with this man. You know, as far as you two being a team and working together and figuring out the best way to co-parent along with this karmic masculine if he's still around and wants to be in the child's life. I'm going to put out 5 cards here. 5 cards, please. 4 more cards for the divine karmic masculine. I keep slipping up, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, 2 more for the karmic masculine. Okay, there we go. All right, underneath the deck here, I'll be referring to the book from time to time. We have, Is This Me? Is this me? So this is about a person who's really looking at themselves and looking at their reflection in the mirror, looking at who they are, looking at the things that they've done and saying, damn, you know, did I really do all this? Was this really me? You know, again, this is to the karmic masculine who is remorseful for the way things have turned out, who's remorseful for the actions that he has taken in reference to this connection that he was in with the divine feminine, the things that he's done to maybe any divine feminine or any women, okay, and is truly wanting to repent and acknowledge the damage that he's done. So this is what this energy is talking about. Like, this is this person looking at them saying, damn, you know, is this me? Did I really get down like this? Did I do all this fucked up shit? Did I beat her? You know, we were in a relationship, you know, and in a relationship, whether you're married to someone or in a relationship, you know, sex is an important part of it. And, you know, when you're married, it's your duty. But some of the karmic masculines were in a situation where they were taking actions against their wife's will. Okay, we'll put it like that. Just because someone is married to you, if they say they're not, you know, they don't want to do it tonight, they don't want to have sex tonight, the divine masculine, the karmic masculine, any masculine is supposed to respect that and back off. But a karmic masculine, there's karmic masculines out here who did not do that, whether you were married to this woman or not. This woman may have told you, I don't want to do it, I'm not horny, I don't want it, and you took it anyway. So you're looking at yourself like, did I do this? Did I physically beat on her? Did I do this? Did I record her? You know, did I drug her and record her having sex or doing fucked up shit? Did I put that on, you know, did I put that out there for the world to see? Did I do that to her? You know, did I purposely get her pregnant and then leave her because she was acting like she was, you know, high sedity, when in reality, she was just out of your league and you didn't know how to communicate with her and she didn't know how to communicate with you. Meaning you were on 2 different frequencies. And instead of you understanding that and respecting that, you looked at it as she was being disrespectful to you. So what you did was you hunted her down like prey, tried to figure out a way to maneuver and to get her to be weak towards you, and she did, and you got her pregnant, and then you just shitted on her and left her because, oh, I'm going to teach that bitch a lesson. That type of energy. Is this me? Did I do that? Yes, you did. Accept all of the things that you've done so that you can truly understand what it is and the damage that you've done. And in that way, when you ask for forgiveness from your spirit guides, your guardian angels and ancestors, or when you ask for forgiveness from the spirit guides, guardian angels and ancestors of the people you did wrong, you at least acknowledge what you did. If you're not acknowledging the actions that you did and the fucked up behavior that you did, you're not going to be forgiven. Because it's like them saying, okay, you did this, but you're not acknowledging it. So yeah, there's a lot that the karmic masculine has to acknowledge. You know, getting other women pregnant while he was in a marriage or a relationship with someone else. Stealing from the divine feminine. you know, stealing from her as far as her money, her ID, her social security information, you know, selling it to get money, you know, dark magic, paying someone to do dark magic on her. Because see, the karmic masculine can come from a family of diviners as well, and he may have aunties or uncles or whomever in the family who dibble and dabble, and he may have gotten that done. Or he may come from a line of diviners where he doesn't even realize his power, but if he puts so much intent into hate and envy of a person, he can manifest negative energies in this person's life. Okay. You know, doing things to the divine feminine's family members, maybe sleeping with the divine feminine's family members, you know, or hunting them, looking at them. This karmic masculine could have been a child predator, okay, as well, like atrocious things, okay. This could have been somebody who was doing things illegally, okay, and wasn't behind the divine feminine. Divine feminine didn't know he was doing it, okay. So we have forgetting one's self is the current situation. So in the karmic masculine's what can I call it? In his path, in reference to the things that he's done, he's forgot who he is. He forgot who he is, what it is that he wants, because of what he's been through. He forgot who he was. It could have very well been because of the fact that he's been through some atrocious things himself. He could have been in prison and could have been raped in prison as a youngster, could have went in as a youngster and experienced some vile, atrocious things. He could have come up in a family environment where he wasn't taught who he was. He wasn't taught manhood. He wasn't taught to love and respect himself. He could have grew up in an environment where he was physically abused by a family member or maybe his mother's boyfriend or something like that. He could have grew up in an environment where his mother was an addict and she was a hoe, and you know his father was a pimp. That type of situation could have been going on as well. So there's so many things that he could have experienced. He could have been sexually molested and abused as a child, and so he's trying to forget all of that shit that happened to him. And so as a result of him trying to forget all that shit that happened to him, at the same time, he's not going to allow himself to be put into those situations again. So he puts on this exterior, this front, where, you know what, I'm going to get you before you get me type of energy. And so he forgets who he truly is and how divine he is within. And so as a result of that, he thinks he's nothing. And so as a result, when somebody thinks that they're nothing, they don't treat and conduct themselves and move in a manner in which, because if someone doesn't think they're anything, they're going to look at you the same way. So if he doesn't love himself, he can't possibly love you. So this is why you get people who are out here doing savage things to people, because it's the hurt within them. The challenge is hiding your true self. Maybe this divine masculine is afraid to speak up about the pain that he's in. He's hiding his true self. He's in a lot of pain. You see the red here, which represents, just look at her face, how she's looking here, and she's holding her head down. Okay, this is an energy of hiding who you truly are. Perhaps this divine feminine or this karmic masculine was treated terribly as a child, because maybe he grew up in a family where there were men who, boys don't cry, stop crying. Or he grew up in an environment where maybe it wasn't just the men in his family, it could have been the women who know nothing about how a man's supposed to be or how a man's supposed to act, or puts it to him in a point where you don't have feelings, you're not supposed to cry. You know, that's what society teaches men nowadays anyway. You're not supposed to cry. So this man, he could be filled with pain because of the things that he'd been through as a child, and he's been told to hide his feelings. Hide your feelings about what you went through in juvenile detention when that CO did with that shit that he did to you. Don't complain and cry about that. Don't complain and cry about how your father physically abused you and may have sexually molested you as a child. And, you know, this could have been a situation where it was a single parent situation. There are many women who are single parents and they can't discipline their son once their son gets a certain age. He gets 11, 12, 13. He might get too rough for her to handle. So what does she do? She calls his father, if she can get in contact with him. Father ain't been around, don't really give two shits about him anyway. But the father gonna come over and lay down the law. So the father might get a little too aggressive, might be a little too, you know what I'm saying? And this scars. This is a scar. This motherfucker ain't give a shit about me. He ain't pay for nothing. He don't come over and visit me or nothing, but he come over and beat my ass, and you let him, ma? That's some real shit that a lot of karmic masculines are dealing with. And so they're taught to hide their feelings because they can't express the shit that they've been through, the shit that they've seen. They could be around a woman who they have a parent who deals with multiple men, lets men come in and out and do whatever he wants, do whatever they want. They could treat the son like shit. They could have been physically abusive to the son. Could have stole from him, stole from the mother. This son could have watched these men beat his women. These son could have walked in and seen these men raping his mother or like atrocious shit. This is what karmic masculines have experienced. And this reading is so that people understand why he's the way he is, so that you have some understanding of how you may need to deal with him. Whether you can eventually deal with him if he's too far gone, or whether, if he comes to you and says, look, I've been through some shit and I'm sorry. What is his inner self telling him? We have Parasite. A parasite is an energy that will leech onto you and suck you dry. It will suck you for resources. It will stay with you and it will suck you for resources. Some of them are dealing with that. Some of these karmic masculines are incubuses. Because they were raped at a young age, because they were sexually assaulted at a young age by, an incubus energy. These energies a lot of them come in the form, some people look at incubuses as it's a spirit that you're having sex with, but these spirits inhabit bodies. Okay, so this young boy could have been through some things where he went to the juvenile detention center and someone sexually assaulted him, or he grew up in a family where his mother was a hoe and his father was a pimp, and she would do whatever she did to get money, and sometimes maybe he was given in exchange for her getting high. So these succubus energies are in him because he was sexually assaulted or abused in some way, shape, or form. And so he walks around with this incubus spirit inside of him, because men are incubuses. Masculine energies are incubuses. Feminine energies are succubuses. So he has this parasite living in him. And so this is why he runs around and sleeps with a lot of women, and why he can't, because that energy, that fire in him. A lot of them, they need to talk to someone. They need to speak to someone. They need to air out the shit that happened to them. They need to be able to cry. They need to be able to say, this is a pain that I experienced. And that shit is just eating him alive as a parasite. All of that shit is just eating him alive. And he doesn't know how to express it and how to deal with it. So it comes out in anger and frustration and aggravation. And when he sees the divine feminine who may not be dealing with that type of energy, he's jealous. He's envious. And then the fact that she's not interested in him anymore, or he can't please her, or she doesn't want to spend time with him, he doesn't understand. Now where his head is at is what does this say? Atonement. See, this is what I'm talking about. Atonement. He knows what he's done. He knows that he wasn't right in some of the behaviors and the activities that he's done, because he knows, he has an understanding. For a lot of the karmic masculines, he has an understanding of why he's doing what he's doing. The ones who want to repent, okay? They understand that it's the shit that happened to them, the things that they experienced. They get that, And as a result, they want to repent. They want to take action towards the people who did them wrong growing up. They want atonement, okay? Because that's what atonement is. It's the concept of a person taking action to correct previous wrongdoings on their part, either through direct action to undo the consequences of that act, equivalent to the actions to doing good for others, or some other expression of feeling of remorse. So this is where his head is at right now, okay? The karmic masculine, this is where his head is at. He wants to do right. He realizes the shit that he did wrong. He understands it. He knows it was fucked up. Each one of those swords could represent the shit that happened to him, and as a result, he did it to others. The outcome here, triumph of lies. Now, what I get with this when I hear triumph of lies it's like this is somebody who is realizing that the way he's been living and how he's been doing things and how he's been maneuvering and moving is all been a lie. All of it. It's just been a lie. This is, let me just look at the book for this for a second here. So yeah, it says, if something hurts me, I change myself so that it can stop. This has a lot to do with all of the things that happened to him, that he was not allowed to express, because boys don't cry. Men ain't supposed to feel pain. Men are not supposed to express emotion. And so this is what he does. When something bothers him, when it comes up again and it bothers him, he just transforms into somebody else. And so sometimes a lot of you will see your karmic masculine, he'll like blink out. You know, when he gets angry, he'll blink out and just be somebody else or on some other shit. And a lot of times what they'll be doing is they'll be doing drugs, you know, and then they'll turn into a whole nother person. That's because they're in so much pain. They're using that drug as a form of escapism. So you may have a lot of karmic masculines who drink a lot, who smoke a lot, who pop pills, you know, because when that pain starts to come up, it's like convulsive. Like, you know, when you vomit, it's convulsive. It comes up every once in a while because that's just the nature of human nature. Like, that evil shit can't live in you. It's going to try to come up, you know. And what he'll do is he'll try to suppress it because men are not supposed to cry. So he'll try to swallow it, suppress it. And so what he'll do is he'll do drugs, or, you know, he'll sleep with a lot of women, or he'll try to figure out something to do. Some of them are dealing with bisexuality issues, you know, because they're hiding their true self. Some of them, because of what they went through, they are bisexual. Some of these men have raped other men, or young boys or young girls. Like, there's some real fucked up shit that is going on with the karmic masculine. But this is, again, a video so that you understand where the karmic masculine is, because everybody is just not evil just cause. All right, forgetting oneself. Okay, this is somebody who, when they try to forget themselves, this is somebody who is very social. Okay, the karmic masculine is very social. He knows a lot of people. A lot of people know him. Okay, and so what he does is he will mask who he is through dealing with a lot of people. That mayor energy represents somebody who knows a lot of people. Okay, hiding your true self. Let's pull a card for that here. So, yeah, getting assistance, getting some help. If you don't feel like you should talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, get your natal chart looked at, because that's a different way of going about it. All right. So hiding your true self. We have ill intentions that came out. Okay. I feel like with this ill intentions card talking about hiding your true self, I feel like it came from a place of, how can I say this? I feel like this is a place of vulnerability. I feel like with hiding your true self, the karmic masculine may feel like if he shows who he truly is. So, for example, if he is somebody who's gay, and he has to deal with the fact that his family may ridicule him. You know, this is somebody who's never been in a successful relationship. He may have multiple baby moms, never married any of them, never been engaged to any of them. He may be, you know, and I'm not saying that's everybody who does that, but this could be, you know, some of the symptoms that he experiences, because maybe he doesn't want to be with women. He may want to be with a man. And he may feel like expressing himself will put him in a position where people will have ill intent towards him, like he won't be supported. Like he'll be targeted. There are certain places in certain areas where gay men are targeted. Okay? Or men who are bisexual, or men who don't, you know, they like other than women are targeted. And so maybe that's the type of environment or community he grew up in. Okay? He could have grew up in the Middle East. He could have grew up in the Caribbean. You know, or he could have grew up in a family where that shit is just, nah, we don't do that here. So he was not able to express himself as a child. And he may have had the shit beat the fuck out of him when he was a kid. Oh, you want to wear a dress, little boy? Let me show you what happens when you wear a dress. And, you know, he may have been abused. And so anytime he tried to express himself, he may have been shut down in a very dramatic or violent way. Parasite. Let's do Parasite. Oops. Okay, so for Parasite, we have on the grind. So yeah, this is about, like I said, with the Parasite card, this is somebody who has an incubus spirit within them. This is someone who could have been sexually assaulted or molested at a young age, or within the penal system, and as a result, they have this incubus spirit within them, and so they're constantly on the grind for sex, constantly looking. All right, this is also somebody who could be very materialistic and is always on the grind for money. Okay, because some of them have this, there's a poisonous type of masculinity, meaning that if you don't have money, money defines masculinity. That's another thing that a lot of men are taught. So you have a lot of men right now who will get pissed if a woman makes more money than him. So you have some women who are doing well financially, and they attract these type of men, and they do everything for the men. The women have nice homes, and these men come in, and instead of these men just playing their position, like, how can I say it? Like, you know how Nicki Minaj and Safari were? How Safari just played his position. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't intimidated or uncomfortable about Nicki doing her thing. He played his position. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Let her shine and do her thing. She gonna take care of you. She gonna be, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like what's happening is that these men are intimidated because they're taught that as a masculine energy, you're supposed to bring in the money. And if the woman brings in more money than you, she's being more masculine than you. And she may not even be acting that way. She may not even be demasculating or emasculating this person. Just the simple fact that she has money, for some of these karmic masculine, it's a form of emasculation to them. So what they look at it as, oh, okay, bitch, you think you better than me? So I'm going to target you just because you think you flyer than me because you make more money. And she may not even be on it like that. She just could be just very apprehensive and protective, which she should be with anybody who comes her way that she doesn't know. Male, female, cat, dog, rat, don't matter. But these men, they take it, because they're so warped mentally, they take it personal when she's like, I don't want to go hang out at, the bar downtown on 3rd. I want to go over here to, the bar up here, or the upscale lounge up here. And he may get offended by that. Oh, you don't want to come hang out with me and my peoples. She may not feel comfortable in that environment. She may feel like a target. And so he takes that personal, and so what he does is he'll target her and he'll fuck with her, even though she really likes him and wants to give him a chance, that type of thing. And so he could be just sleeping, and this is another thing too, on the grind and Parasite, you may have incubus spirits, men who are incubus spirits, and what they do is they sleep with women for money. These are very attractive men, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous men, and they know it. They know the attention that they got, because some of them, as a child, they were raped by older women. And so they've always attracted women. They know what they know this energy. And so they use it to get money. So you have a lot of men who could be married to a woman, and the woman could be down with it, or she may not know that he's married to. But he goes out here on the low and he messes around with all these women, but he's doing it for money. These women are giving him money, taking care of him, putting money in his account. He won't fuck with you if you ain't got a certain amount of money. Karmic masculine. Atonement. This is him wanting to repent for the things that he's done, realizing the damage that he's done and wanting to repent for it. Sour Patch Kid. Yeah, see, he realizes all the frustration and anger and aggravation because he's angry, and he's realizing why he's angry. He's angry because he's put out negative energy, and so it's coming back to him. So he could be dealing with karma right now. And this is another thing why it's very important that you atone for your your wrongdoings, because Pisces season is coming. That's the season of karma, baby. Everybody's going to get karma. It's just a matter of what kind of karma you get. And so if you are a karmic masculine who truly wants to repent and do well, and want to be forgiven and is truly remorseful, you got to, again, talk to your ancestors, pray a lot, study your chart, apologize. If you can't apologize to the person, don't stalk them and hunt them down. If you could write them a letter and mail it to them because you know where to, then mail them a letter. Don't be going to people's houses, and don't do that, because you're already looked at as a threat. So understand how you're looked at, and a lot of you, they do understand it, and they're angry and frustrated about it, but you can still let this person know, look, I know I caused a lot of problems. I know I was an asshole. I know I was a dickhead to you. I'm sorry. That's all I want to say. I truly understand I did this to you and that was wrong. I did that to you and I was wrong. I did this and that was not right. And again, karmic masculine, if you can't actually write a letter to someone and give it to them, or you can't speak to them about it, write a letter and call on your ancestors and spirit guides and ask your ancestors and spirit guides, read the letter, ask your ancestors and spirit guides to give this message to that person. Whether they're here on this planet or, you know, just because someone is not here in the flesh don't mean that they can't hear you. Okay? Energy doesn't die, it just changes shape. Triumph over lies. One more for triumph over lies. Alright, that was 2. So we just want 1. Alright, way too many. Just 1, please. Thank you. So we have that damn ex of theirs. So for some of them, they're still dealing with an ex. Or the ex could have been the one who did them dirty. Underneath we have turncoat. The ex could have been the one who turned them and did them. So they could have been with a karmic partner who did them dirty. Because what we don't talk about a lot when we talk about these karmic partners is how a karmic became a karmic. Okay? Just like with the karmic feminine video that I did, and I failed to mention that as well. How did she become a karmic? Because she was done dirty by other... I did mention that. She was done dirty by... Maybe she ran into a karmic masculine and was done dirty. And now, as a result, now this is how she acts because this is a way that she defends herself or retaliates, or maybe this is what she knows. So, his ex, for a lot of you, the karmic masculine you're dealing with, his ex, he may have children by this woman, and this woman may have ripped his heart out by what she has done because of the fact that she has children by him, and she plays him with these children. Okay, so he's become very cold. Alright, and that's enough to do it. Okay, especially if this man went through a lot in his childhood and all he wants is his children to not deal with the shit he deal with, but unfortunately he fucked around and had a baby or babies by a karmic. Yeah, and this is all about, if something hurts me, I change myself so that I can stop it. And it was his ex who hurt him. A lot of them, it's the ex that they have children with who really, really, really fucked them over, really did them really dirty. Alright, so let's get some advice here, and then we're going to wrap this up. So, divine feminine and divine feminine, divine masculine. Divine masculine, if you have a divine feminine who has a child by this karmic masculine, this will give you some understanding of what this man has been through. So, if you need to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with this man, okay, to let them know, you know, that you're not here to be a threat to him or his children, but you're here to help, you know, and you don't have to be best friends with him, but just to let him know that, look, the last thing I'm trying to do is impede on, you know, your relationship with your children. You know, because sometimes that's what is required, is to sit down and have a heart-to-heart. Especially when people are getting married. You know, that's very important because the children are what's most important. The children need to feel safe in every environment that they go in, whether they're over here with the divine masculine who is their stepfather, or they're over here with who was once the karmic masculine who is their biological father. The children need to know that they're safe and that they're loved. And that there's no bullshit going on back and forth, so they don't know who to trust and they shouldn't have to choose. Right? We have to break these generational curses. So we have antelope spirit. Life is speeding up. So yeah, now that the karmic masculine is trying to atone for what he is doing, his life is going to start speeding up in a positive way. Because for a lot of them, life, it was just stuck. It was just day to day, the same shit, different day, same shit, different